Before we get started on this scouting report, make sure to follow me on Instagram at Andrew Lampke NFL, or you can look in the description below, and I'll be posting a lot of scouting reports amongst other offseason stuff over there, so thank you. When I'm scouting for the NFL draft, my favorite thing to do is to find that day 2 or day 3 guy that ends up not just becoming a solid pick, but one of the best steals in the draft. Throughout the 30 to 40 players I've graded so far in this current draft cycle, one of the guys who I've found to like more than others is a Minnesota edge rusher by the name of Boye Mafe. He's a bit on the older side, already being 23 years old, as he'll be 24 in November as well. But his athleticism and his film gives me enough reason to love him for where he's currently expected to be drafted. At the start of the snap, Boye Mafe shows an above average first step to get into that backfield quickly. In my opinion, it's not as elite as someone like Kayvon Thibodeau's might be, but he does show that initial burst that you like to see that helps him explode into the backfield quicker. After the initial step, the burst is shown throughout the rep, as he has good speed off the edge and is a dangerous threat to the outside. One thing you'll see from some raw, quick edge rushers is the ability to run outside the offensive tackle, but then they basically become nothing when hands are put on them. But for Boye Mafe, he shows good hands on these outside rushes, and a mixture of that and pass rush moves, such as a rip move or a swim move, that helps him complete his outside rush. Boye Mafe also has a great motor during these pass rushes. Even if he doesn't win with his initial rush, the mixture of his strength and competitive toughness creates so many more opportunities for him to make some plays. If you want to see some film where Mafe destroys all game, literally just turn on the Nebraska film, because Boye seemed to win every single pass rep. Another thing I like about him is his ability in zone and man-to-man coverage. Now, he's an edge rusher, so his coverage is limited to an extent, but he shows the ability to stay manned onto the running back surprisingly well, and that could create a chess piece that any defensive mastermind would love to have, especially with his athleticism and size. Now, despite all these positives, there are a few reasons why some people are rating him low. First, when you turn on the film, you won't see a ton of instances where Mafe wins with an inside rush. However, we did see this a little more in the Senior Bowl week, and I think it's definitely something that's not as bad as it seems, and it's also something that he can work on and become a threat with in the NFL. And I'm sure he just ran to the outside more often in college because that's kind of what won. And if he can continue to improve the inside rush, he could have I'd say Von Miller type of passing attack. Another thing I'd like to see Mafe improve is his initial pop at the point of attack. He shows strength for sure in his game, but creating more disruption with his initial hit will create many more opportunities during these pass reps. And now we gotta look at probably the biggest weakness in Boye Mafe's game, as that at least in his rookie year, he could be limited to a third down role in the league due to his run stopping abilities. Now, his run stopping isn't terrible, but it's more of a negative than a positive at this current point, and it's the main thing I'd like to see him improve on. Despite some of these weaknesses, his ability to get to the quarterback as often as he does, with speed and pass rush moves, makes him a potential threat even as a rookie. I'm really interested to see how he tests in the combine, because if he shows great athleticism and even a solid bench press, he could be one of the biggest risers come draft time, especially after that very solid Senior Bowl showing he had. He has work to go if he's going to be a star in the NFL, but he has the ability to get there, and any team running a 3-4 defense should be looking at him if he's sliding to the middle rounds of the draft. Because if you don't draft him, oh boy, he will be coming for your QB.